The Grand Egyptian Museum's Conservation Center is considered to be the heart of the whole, built on an approximate area of 7,000 square meters. The Grand Egyptian Museum Conservation Center is expected to be the largest center in the Middle East. Equipped with its own energy center, fire station, and service facilities, the Conservation Center building is considered as a major part of the Egyptian cultural evolution and heritage. The center consists of five main conservation laboratories, which are the Stone Lab, the Wood Lab, the Organic, the Inorganic, and Human Remains Lab. And first, let's start by taking a look at the Inorganic Lab.
Inorganic Lab is devoted to the conservation of three-dimensional archaeological objects made of inorganic materials. Inorganic materials include metals, pottery, viands, and jewelry.
Right. Talking more about these pieces, and before you start working in each of these pieces, do you have something or do you have a technique that you follow?
Yes, yes. Uh, I have a small a movie. It can give you an idea about the nature of work inside inorganic
Talking
lab.
about the steps in general, yes.
Okay. First, I'd like to give you an idea about the general site of the
The
Grand
location
Egyptian
of the
Museum.
museum,
Yeah,
yes.
location, and its location from Giza Pyramid. Here we can see the general view of the project. The red line represents the border of the project. The project consists of the museum building, as we can see here, and conservation center. This is conservation center. Conservation center built on approximately 7,000 square meter and equipped with its own energy center and fire station. As we can see, conservation center divided into three main sections: main storage, and conservation labs, and management, and other facilities.
We can see that we have the stone, wood, non-organic, just as we were talking right now on the organic.
Yes. Now we are going to inorganic lab. This is inorganic lab.
This is the lab where we are standing.
Yes, yes. As we said before, inorganic lab is devoted to the conservation of archaeological objects, include metals, pottery, faience, and glass. The work crew inside inorganic lab divided into three main groups: metals, pottery, and viands, and jewelry and glass.
Usually we used to think, or some people, they believe that all of the people working in this field, they can work with all pieces. But now we understood that this is something that is much more specific, or we need to have, each one has his own work, right? For those who are working with metals, those who are working with pottery, am I correct?
Yes, yes.
It is more
As you know,
specialized.
yes, as you know, we are studying our college general information and general items. But after graduate, we try to be specification, more
It's the
specification.
practical experience after
Yes,
graduation.
yes,
Yes.
yes. So we divided the work crew inside our labs to specific
Metals, pottery
materials, pottery
finds, and
wise.
jewelry glass.
Yes. Before beginning conservation treatment, we performing a detailed documentation by using various documentary methods and investigate the object using a stereo microscope.
So all these are the examination before you start working.
Yes, yes. In some cases, to determine the deposit material on the surface of the objects, we can determine a specific analysis like XR, FTIR, and investigate under a scanning electron microscope. Finally, the step of conservation, we save it in a conservation report. And this is some example of conserved object
So you
before and
receive
after.
here the objects, you start working with these objects, and then they take it away, right, into
Yes.
the museum, to be transferred into the museum
Before
later.
museum, we return it to its origin main storage.
Right.
We receive
Yes.
this object from the storage, and after finishing conservation
To be
treatment,
displayed later.
yes, to be displayed after the museum
Here we can
finished.
see many objects before and after, and definitely we can see how the efforts exerted, because there is a clear difference actually between the both.
Yes, yes, of course. And this is coins, metal coins. Before and after, we can see the difference.
And this one as well, we can see a great difference actually, because it is
Yes.
broken.
Yes.
But the idea of working on it just to make it appear as if this is the same size, shape.
Yes.
And I think this is the most important part. I mean, you are working with a piece that goes back 7,000 years, and you're trying to work in the same style. So when I see it as a visitor, I won't feel it.
Yes, yes. We are working according to main rules.
Yeah.
We don't change any shape of origin or add any conservation material unless if it's necessary.
And this is definitely the most important part. But again, I can see here many different interesting pieces. Maybe you can get closer to understand more about it, and you can just give us a general idea about these pieces.
Okay.
Let me start by this box. Just as we can see, tell us more about it. What is it about?
This is a pictorial from Old Kingdom. Consists of a group of beads made of vines. As you can see here,
Is it a necklace or what?
yes, it's a
So-
necklace or cooler.
Yes.
Ah,
Going back to which age?
Old Kingdom.
Okay.
Old Kingdom. We receive this object separately, as you can see, separately.
And this is
beads.
still related, I mean, from the same origin.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. As you can see in this picture, this is the object before. After that, we make a study.
So you mean you received the object like this one?
Yes,
You received it like this?
Yes.
And afterwards you did it like this?
yes,
Wow.
yes, yes. After researching and show the original one in Cairo Egyptian Museum.
With the research, you know exactly to which, you know it belongs to the Old Kingdom, for example. But do you know any information about it? This piece, to whom it belongs, anything like this, or just the age itself?
This is according the information in
That you
the
received.
archaeological,
Okay.
yes, archaeological database. After researching, we find this necklace. It's
The
the
shape,
same style,
yes.
the same style and the same shape of beads. According to this origin one, we are stringing the beads, as you can see here.
How long will it take something like this piece? for
This
example?
takes about 3 months.
3 months to do something like this?
Yes, because
One piece. And the one who's going to work with it is going to be the same? right?
Yes,
So
yes,
each one here will take the responsibility of a piece, and he has to perform the job completely,
yes,
right?
yes. Just one person do this work.
To be responsible for this
Yes,
piece.
yes.
It looks great.
There is some exciting thing I would like to show you. This is from King Tut collection.
But this is something new, I believe. Did we see it before or no? I'm talking about the belongings of King Tut. This is something that you are working on.
Yes, we are working on.
Okay.
We are working on. We received this recently. We find inside original pieces, original seeds. You can see here. This is after finishing of conservation. We find inside.
Maybe we can show the camera from
Yes.
inside. Yes. What do we have inside? Just put it.
I think it's some.
This is how it was found.
Yes, yes, but exactly I don't know.
Again, show it to the camera, just like here. Okay.
In the other one, there is a seeds looks like.
Is this pottery?
Yes, this is pottery, made of pottery. You can see here.
Okay. Again, let's show
This
to the
seeds
camera.
looks like almond.
Okay. Yes. With the idea how it was kept all these years.
I don't know.
If we have it today, it will never remain for 1 month. I mean, it's just for 7,000 years.
Yes.
I think this is...
From King Tut collection.
That
not-
king was very lucky
Ah,
because of his belonging, not because of his ring, but his belongings
I
actually.
think we are very lucky to get this
Yes,
object.
of course. For example, here we can see many different pieces. Actually, they look great and masterpieces, not only pieces. So tell us more about it. From where did you receive it? More about the whole idea.
Okay, this pottery jar or amphora, it came from Damaita. We received it recently. It was built submarine, as we can see here. There is some fossils adhered in the object.
It's
the
a very
surface
hard
object.
job, I mean, to deal with these pieces that...
Yes,
How,
yes.
how do you deal with it? How do you work? How to remove this?
First, we register the object in our database, and after document it, photographing, and take the measurements, we started to make a plan for conservation to determine the method of treatment and the material we will use.
And also the materials has to be different, of course. I mean, we need to understand more. For example, is it that difficult to deal with the pottery more than other pieces because it is very sensitive, or they are all the same?
No, it's depend on the condition of the object, whether it organic or inorganic pottery or metal.
I mean, for
Depend upon-
example, for this piece in particular, because we have many fossils, we have, you have to remove a lot of things, and even it might appear that it is not in a good shape as others, for example.
Yes, this is difficult to remove this
Yes.
because it's became a part of its object now. So we're thinking about leave it
As it is.
as it is, because it is referred to the environment, its environment. I think it will be very interesting to leave it
As it is, yes. But then you search for to which age do they belong and all of this, right? As you mentioned before.
Yes, this is from Greek Roman period.
The Grand Egyptian Museum Conservation Center will be the top of the line technically and equipment-wise. Built under the ground for maximum climatic control and with studied gas and hazardous waste situations, it is also considered one of the main Egyptian projects that really respect environment.
And still, we are in the inorganic lab. And hello, good morning.
No. Uh,
So we have seen what you are doing, and I can see that this is a metal, and you are in the process of cleaning this piece, right? Tell us more about what exactly are you doing.
I remove corrosion products from the copper vessel by mechanical means. I use micromotor to remove corrosion broken product gently. Yes, that's enough.
And you are responsible for this piece from A to Z, right?
Yes, from the documentation, from photography, from cleaning, stabilization of this object.
When did you start working in it? I mean, when did you receive it, and how long will it take you to finish?
Yes, I work with this object 5 months ago, and I think it will still another 5 months to finish this work.
You mean that it will take you about 1 year to work with this piece?
Yes, because it has heavy corrosion product from outside and inside, as you see, and this is difficult and this laboratory don't use chemical cleaning in this object. If I use chemical cleaning, it will take shortly, and because the harmful impact of chemical cleaning, we prefer mechanical cleaning to preserve this object.
You know the idea why I'm talking about it, because the point is that usually the viewer, he believes that something like this maybe you will finish it in 1 week, 2 weeks, but not 1 year to just to work with one piece.
Yes, yes, because it is uh, hard work to
It has to be done very sensitively.
yes, very sensitivity and accurate work.
And still we are in the inorganic lab, and still we have many pieces here that we can see. For example, just take a look here, something that is really very, very interesting. Here we can see some mirrors. They belong to a very old age. We'll find out more about these mirrors with Mr. Ibrahim. And first of all, let's say hello, and we would like to ask you more about these pieces that we can see right now.
Okay, hello. These are mirrors. We have a large collection of mirrors in our lab, and we are doing investigation to trying to understand how these mirrors were made, their manufacturing technology, how the ancient Egyptians were using them, and what's their condition now, and what are the best way to preserve them and to even display them, taking in consideration other mirrors from ancient Egyptian artifacts in different other museums, like international museums in USA and in Europe. So this is all we are creating this network with our research, with other research outside Egypt, and this is all will be together in. We hope it will be together in one place one day.
When I first saw these pieces, just you brought another piece to show me how it might look like. I know this is not the same, but it might look like such a piece, right? So maybe we can take a closer look here right now on this, and you tell us more about it.
Yeah, okay. So the mirrors mainly consists of three parts, which is the disc. The first part is the disc, which is more like a circle shape or like the heart shape. It took different shapes. Like you can see here, it's more like a heart shape, and here it's more circle. And this is the first part. The second part is the tongue, which connects it to the third part, which is the handle. This is the third part, and the handles took different shapes, and they were made from different materials. They were made from metal, like this one. They used other materials like wood. Sometimes they use bone or ivory for making handles, and here it's from the same piece. It's one piece, and sometimes it's three pieces, as I mentioned. So the mirrors took different shapes, and their manufacturing technology were different from age to age, and this is what we are trying to document and to study if this changes belongs to specific periods, and we can assign different period to specific shapes of mirrors and the specific manufacturing technology. This is ongoing research because we have large collection of research. We can do this, and there are only few studies about mirrors in ancient Egypt available. So this would be a very good research to be done.
Do we know anything about to which age they belong? Or different ages?
Yeah, they are the collection we have, and there are more in the storage room, and they dates back from the Old Kingdom to the New Kingdom. So all this period we have mirrors from each period, and this is also what we are trying to investigate, because maybe some of them were dated to a period which they originally doesn't belong to, because it's not very easy to date mirrors.
I think it will differ in the way you are dealing with the piece, the age itself, right?
Yeah. This is what we are trying to investigate, to define if all the mirrors dated to the right date or the right kingdom or so.
And how do we work with these pieces? I mean, what are the procedures taken?
First, we're starting with documentation. We are trying to document the object, document the collection, like with photography, with measurements, taking all the archaeological data from the database, like what you can see here. We are working with the database here, and in the database, in the database there are all the information, all the archaeological information, where this come from, the kingdom, the second intermediate period, for example, and the measurements here, and even the weight, because some of them are from precious metals like silver and gold. And even when they were discovered, one of them were discovered in 1948 by Hamad and Farid. These are the persons who discovered this mirror. So, and the place we follow their literature about the discovery and get more information about how they discovered these mirrors, and how was the condition when they discovered it, and is it changed or it's still the same condition right now. So
I think it's a very tough job, right?
No, I think it's more very interesting, because
You enjoy it.
we enjoy it because we are revealing more information day after day. So this makes it more interesting to know all this information and gather it all in one piece. And here, even here on the you can see there is a drawing I just created recently for the collection of mirrors. This is not all the collection. This is only 18 mirrors. I created this drawing for all of them to be able to see the whole collection at one place, so I can make this network of the collection, and I can understand more globally of the whole collection, not only working with one piece.
You know why I'm asking you? Because the point is sometimes that I feel scared to touch such a piece because it belongs to 7,000 years. And the point is you're dealing with something that is really very, very sensitive, the idea of working with these pieces, and as if you are traveling into time.
Yeah, that's right. But this is why we are doing this. We are trying to preserve them for the next generation, to the future. And you know, this is a new trend. What you just said, this is a new trend in conservation. We are trying to make the conservation more preventive, and we are not putting more materials, as this is what all the professionals in the field realize, that we should be more preventive in the field. We are adding less materials and doing more preventive conservation, and there are many literature about many principles of preventive conservation that we are trying to follow all of them, so we can save the objects to the next generation, to the future. So there are more techniques, more technology, so they can investigate it more and deal with it with better materials and techniques.
You know, like what? For example, when you search for an information, sometimes you go through the encyclopedia, for example, whether on the internet or through books. But now I can feel that I'm standing in a live encyclopedia for the whole world. And this is the difference.
Yeah, this is more real when you get the information from the artifact itself. This is more real more than getting the information from a book or from a research paper. Getting the information from the artifact, this is more original. this is more real, and you can rely on it more.
I think this is the Grand Egyptian Museum.
Yeah, that's it.
The Grand Egyptian Museum, a place that allows its visitors a unique experience of going back in time and navigating through the story of ancient Egypt over the past 7,000 years, and enjoy a trip through one of the richest cultural heritages ever created.